Okay, for our correction, starting with Jihei. You said the VR is a different atmosphere I cannot touching or cannot see, so a little bit afraid. The VR experience is, do you know the expression surreal? S-U-R-R-E-A-L. Surreal is kind of like an unbelievable experience that became real. The VR experience is so surreal because I can't touch anything or I'm not seeing anything real. So it makes me, yeah, a little bit afraid. It's okay, yeah. It's more greater in night view when you were talking about the Park Hyatt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The night view is the best. It's very feel like even though I'm in the middle of a big city, it gives me a very healing mood. Although I'm in the middle of a big city, it makes me feel calm or serene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, serene.
Serene.
Serene. S-E-R-E-N-E. Yeah. Nowadays, it's not directly volunteer work, but it's by a company donate some money. Nowadays, I don't volunteer directly, but make donations through my company. Yan? I can only day off at last day or summer vacation. I can only have, blah, 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 blah. I only get time off for my vacation. To cut down on electronic fee, to cut down on energy costs. Negative point on this, when you were talking about your fan, on the downside. On the downside is like when you're talking about something that's kind of, when you're saying positive or negative, we don't really say like on the positive side or on the negative side. We really say on the plus side for positive, and then on the downside for negative. And then last you said every time I get there, I don't know what we were talking about. Every time I went there. Yeah, every time I went there instead of get. Next, Gian. I've been business trip for a long time. I've had several business trips over a long period of time. Because I've been business trip for a long time, it's kind of like saying I went on one business trip and it's continuing for a long time.
That's what I meant.
Oh, one business trip continuing for a long time. Not many business trips over time. Oh, really? Oh, wow. You had a really long business trip? Wow, okay. Forget that. So next, my own money is too expensive to me, so I cannot experience. So this, you kind of, it's a little mixed up and more complicated. So it's, you could just say it's too expensive for me to experience on my own. It's too expensive for me to experience on my own. When you were talking about collecting points, and that you had to do it through your trips. So you said my own money is too expensive to me, so I cannot experience. I would change that to it's too expensive for me to travel on my own, or to build points on my own, or to experience this on my own.
To travel on my own.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then several years ago, a company asked me to visit some institute for some kind of caring children. Several years ago, our company asked us to, I guess you could say visit or volunteer. I don't know. I don't know if we would call it like an institute, but to maybe an organization.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so asked us to volunteer with an organization that helps take care of children. And last, Juhyun, everyone, my coworker, when I go my company, they hold fan. Every one of my coworkers is holding a fan. They get sick because they can't wish. I'm sorry. They get sick because they can't wash the hand. So some guy built an organization. They were getting sick because of poor sanitation. So this guy started up this organization, or so it gave this guy a mission. Yeah. So they get sick because of poor sanitation, and it gave this guy a mission. Once a year, I help the voluntary at work. Once a year, I volunteer for work. And last, change the president. So some people call me. They can't get. They can't get what they want. After changing. So a lot of times when we talk about working for like a public job, we usually refer to that as change of office, and everybody knows that we're referring to the office of the president. So if I have a friend that works for like a government organization in the U.S., they call this like a change of office instead of like changing the president. So when the office changes, people will complain to me, or people will, when the office changes, people will complain to me. So usually when you have a change of leadership in like the presidency or any kind of big government organization or a big organization, and the leadership changes, we call it a change of office, especially for a presidency. And those are our corrections for today.